What if the world you woke up in this morning is no longer the same as the one you woke up in yesterday? Heraclitus believed everything flows. So why do we cling so hard to things staying the same? If no one steps into the same river twice, who are you now, and who will you be next? Long before the modern world spoke of change as a challenge or a disruption, Heraclitus embraced it as the very essence of reality. A Greek philosopher from the city of Ephesus, Heraclitus lived around 500 BCE and left behind fragments, short, poetic sentences that still ripple through the centuries. Of all his words, one stands out and echoes louder than the rest. No man ever steps in the same river twice. For it is not the same river, and he is not the same man. This idea, simple and mysterious, is the core of Heraclitus's philosophy. To him, life is a river, always moving, always shifting. Nothing is static, nothing stays the same, everything flows. At first, this may seem unsettling. If everything is in motion, where is stability? If nothing stays, how can we hold on to anything? But Heraclitus did not see this flow as chaos. He saw it as truth, as the nature of the universe. He believed that change is not a failure of order, but the source of it. Just as the river never stops moving but still remains a river, life never pauses but still has patterns, rhythms, and depth. He wrote, "All things come into being through opposition." He saw that tension and contrast, light and dark, life and death, day and night, are not enemies. They are necessary. They are two sides of one movement. Without conflict, there is no growth. Without change, there is no life. This was a bold departure from the philosophers of his time. While many sought fixed truths and eternal forms, Heraclitus looked into the world and saw transformation as the most reliable reality. Fire, he believed, was the symbol of life itself, because it is always consuming, always becoming, never still. Heraclitus challenged us to let go of the illusion of permanence. He asked us to look honestly at the world and see it as it is, alive, flowing, full of becoming, and more than that, he asked us to look at ourselves the same way. You are not the person you were yesterday. Your thoughts, your cells, your emotions, your priorities, they are shifting, even as you sit still. His river is not just the outside world. It is you. Your identity is not a solid block. It is a dance, a series of moments, a stream of becoming. And once you understand this, you stop trying to hold life still. You stop fighting the current. You begin to move with it, not blindly, but consciously. Because to live wisely, in Heraclitus's view, is not to resist change but to flow with it. To understand that the beauty of life is not in its certainty, but in its motion. Heraclitus did not just speak of rivers and nature. He was speaking of us, our inner lives, our identities, our emotions. To him, the soul was like a flame. It flickers, it shifts, it cannot be pinned down. Just as you cannot touch the same river twice, you do not remain the same person from one moment to the next. Your memories, your feelings, your fears, your desires, they are all flowing, changing, evolving. This raises a profound question. If everything in you is changing, then who are you really? Most people try to answer this with roles. I am a teacher, a mother, a leader, a student. But Heraclitus would remind you, those roles change. They fade. They can disappear overnight. Others say, I am my beliefs. But even beliefs evolve. You grow. You unlearn. You shift perspectives. Some say, I am my thoughts. But thoughts come and go like clouds across the sky. For Heraclitus, identity is not fixed. It is not a destination. It is a movement. You are not a solid self. You are a becoming. You are a process, a current, a rhythm that never quite repeats itself. And rather than fear this, he invites us to embrace it. Because in that movement is freedom. In that change is possibility. If you believe you must stay the same, you will suffer. You will resist your own evolution. You will cling to old versions of yourself that no longer fit. You will fear growth because it feels like loss. But if you see that your nature is to change, then every shift becomes a return, not to something new, but to something true. This truth is especially powerful in moments of crisis. When you lose a job, when a relationship ends, when you feel lost, these moments feel like identity is breaking. But Heraclitus would say, perhaps it is just the river turning. Perhaps you are not breaking, but becoming. Perhaps this is not an end, but a flow into a deeper part of yourself. Change does not always feel good. It can be painful, confusing, even terrifying, but it is always honest. It shows you what no longer serves you. It strips away illusion. It makes space for what is next. And when you understand this, you stop asking, how can I go back? And begin asking, where am I going now? Heraclitus believed that wisdom comes not from holding on, but from letting go with awareness. To see life not as a fixed map, but as a river that teaches you how to move, to adapt, to respond with grace. You do not control the current, but you can learn how to swim. You can stop struggling and begin to flow. And in that flow, something powerful happens. You begin to feel at home in change. You begin to trust that who you are is not something fragile, but something spacious. Something that can grow. Something that can hold both past and future without losing itself. You are not the river, but you are the one walking through it, again and again, changing, returning, becoming. Most people fear change because they feel powerless within it. They see change as something that happens to them, something to avoid, resist, or survive. But Heraclitus offers a different lens. What if change is not the enemy of peace, but the path to it? What if flowing with life is not weakness, but the ultimate strength? To embrace change, you must shift how you relate to it. You must move from control to cooperation, from fear to curiosity. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this moment teaching me? Life is not a fixed structure. It is a dance. And when you stop resisting the rhythm, you start to find your own. One of the first steps is accepting impermanence. Everything you love, everything you fear, everything you hope for, it will all change. And that is not tragedy. That is truth. It is what makes life precious. It is what makes presence possible. When you realize that nothing lasts forever, you begin to cherish it more, not less. The second step is cultivating flexibility, not in the sense of giving up, but in the sense of bending without breaking. Like a tree in the wind, you can learn to move with what comes without losing your roots. You can hold your values while adjusting your plans. You can stay grounded while exploring new paths. The third step is choosing your response. You cannot control the river, but you can choose how you swim. You can choose to panic, or to breathe, to resist, or to observe, to freeze, or to move with purpose. Heraclitus would not ask you to stop feeling, but to see feeling as part of the flow, not a failure of strength. Living with change is not about constant reinvention. It is about deepening, returning, letting each season of life teach you something new about who you are. When you do this, you stop fearing the unknown, because you know that whoever you become next, you will meet that self with honesty. And in that honesty, life becomes not a struggle to preserve what is fading, but a journey to discover what is unfolding. You are not here to freeze time. You are here to ride it, to learn from it, to be shaped by it in ways you could never predict. Heraclitus reminds us that wisdom is not stillness. It is flow, not control, but participation. He does not ask you to be unchanging. He asks you to be aware, to know that each moment offers a chance to be reborn, not into someone else, but into more of yourself. Thank you for walking with us through the wisdom of Heraclitus. His words are few, but their echo is endless. In a world that often clings to certainty, he invites us to trust movement, to embrace the river, to remember that we are not fixed points, we are flowing lives. So we leave you with this question: what part of your life are you clinging to? And what might happen if you let it flow? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let this space be a river of ideas, of honesty, of growth. And if this reflection touched something in you, like, subscribe, and stay with us on the Life Philosophy channel. Because here, we do not stand still. We flow, we grow, together. Until next time, stay open, stay aware, and keep stepping into the river